Welcome back to the Date with Confidence podcast. I wanted to dedicate an entire episode to the 90-90 mindset concept because this concept is really what is going to be able to help you date with confidence in every aspect. So whether it's a first date, whether it's second, third, fourth date, whether it's just connecting with people on apps, whether it's putting yourself out there for the first time, if you've been single for a long time, this concept is going to help you in every aspect of dating, of feeling confident dating, even when it comes to just replying to people in apps, because sometimes that can feel scary, it can feel nerve-wracking, especially if you haven't communicated with men for a long time. Like for me, when I first started dating again after 2.5 years of being single, I split up with my ex, we'd had the pandemic, I'd been single for a really long time. I hadn't spoken to men in a long time. And whilst I was very confident speaking to men when I was younger, I felt like this big break that I'd had, there was part of me that was like, I don't know how to speak to men anymore. And it was a little bit uncomfortable. But what helped me was this concept, the 90-90 mindset concept, and using this concept to help me build unwavering self-confidence. And that's what the concept is going to do for you. Let's just dive straight into it. Welcome to the Date with Confidence podcast, a place to come for dating advice, support, and stories that'll either fill you with hope or relief that your dating experience wasn't as bad as it could have been. With practical episodes that'll provide you with easy to implement tips to help you feel confident AF on your next date, alongside lighthearted catch-ups where your host Rebecca, that's me by the way, shares her own experience dating after 4 years of the single life. You are guaranteed to end each episode feeling less alone in your dating struggles, empowered to never settle again, and confident that the best is yet to come. And if it all falls to shit, there's a special first season dedicated to breakups. You are welcome, my friend. Subscribe, review, and share with your single friends. So I have mentioned this concept in previous episodes. I've referred to it, I've talked about it, but I wanted to dedicate an entire episode to it so that if you are looking to really focus on creating more confidence, you've got this one place to continually refer back to come back to this episode. If you need a boost in confidence, if something has knocked your confidence, this is where you can come. And if you want to really learn how to embody this concept and learn more about it on a much deeper level, and learn tools and techniques and strategies for becoming your most confident self in your everyday life, then do check out the confidence course, because that course was built on this concept. So all the modules are dedicated to the core principles of this concept, plus there are extra lessons to help you with things like creating solid boundaries in your relationships, raising your relationship standards, etc, etc. So go to the show notes, check that out. And if you're not ready to get the confidence course yet, then do check out the confidence kit, because that has a lot of free resources in there for you to help you create more confidence when you are dating. So the 90-90 mindset concept is a concept that I created to help you feel confident in yourself every single day. It really embodies everything that I've learned on my own journey to confidence over the last 12 plus years. The principles of the concept are what's helped me to feel confident in my day-to-day life, including in my dating life. It's helped me to make decisions more easily. It's helped me to speak to strangers. It's helped me to actually say yes to these first dates. It's helped me to get on public transport even if I was terrified. It's helped me to put out this podcast. I mean, this was scary in itself. Like initially the podcast was going to be loads of educational how-to episodes, and then it's transformed into this place where I share my stories, some of which are very vulnerable and personal. And if it wasn't for my own solid foundation of confidence and belief in myself, I never would have been able to put that out there in public. You would never have been able to listen to it. The fact is, I am so steady in who I am. I know that no matter what I share, no matter what the response is to what I share, I'm content and I accept and I love myself for who I am. And that comes from this concept of me really embodying this concept. And then on a much grander scale of things, it's helped me to do big, scary things like asking for a promotion, asking for more money in job interviews. It helped me quit my job. It helped me backpack around the world on my own. It's helped me to make some massive life decisions. And I'm really hoping that it will encourage you or help you create the kind of confidence you need to date with confidence and do big, dramatic, scary things. Quit your job, travel the world. I also don't want to be the reason that you do that, because if it all falls to shit, I don't want the responsibility. So it's essentially helped me to do the big things in life as well as the little everyday things. And as I said, my hope for you is that by introducing you to this concept, you can start to embody this way of living too, so that you can feel confident every day and on every date, and you can get what you deserve in life, including the most incredible relationship with your person of choice, or people of choice if you prefer a polyamorous relationship, which we're open to here as well. Now, there are 3 core principles of the 90-90 mindset concept, and these are: 1, we believe in becoming 90% confident 90% of the time. 2, you only need 90 seconds of confidence to change your life. And 3, there are 3 layers of confidence you need to master in order to become confident every day. So principle number 1, this idea of you only need to become 90% confident 90% of the time. Instead of trying to feel 100% confident 100% of the time, aim for 90% confidence 90% of the time. Because the thing is, it is completely unrealistic and, dare I say it, impossible to feel confident 100% of the time. We are all human beings. We all have experiences that impact us. We all face challenges. We have obstacles to overcome. We have things that knock us sideways. And when you aim for 100% confidence 100% of the time, you're striving for a goal that is impossible to achieve. And by striving for a goal that's impossible to achieve, you're actually doing more harm than good, because there will come a point where you feel like you're failing because you can't reach or maintain that standard of 100% confidence. So no matter how hard you try, you're never going to reach that top of the mountain. And this feels really frustrating when you're putting your all into something and not getting there, which in turn impacts how confident you feel in yourself because you're failing. So instead, aim for 90% confidence 90% of the time, because this is a much more realistic goal. You're giving yourself space, you're allowing yourself time not to be confident at all. You're accepting that you're human and that there'll be moments where you don't feel confident. So let's have a little look at that in practice when it comes to dating. Now, for many of us, we've been in relationships that may have been toxic, that may have ended badly. We may have been in situationships that have knocked our confidence, or been ghosted by people, rejected by people. And we've done a lot of work to heal ourselves, to break recurring patterns, to try and build up our self-esteem so that the next time we enter into a new relationship or situationship or a dating scenario, we're not dragging our past with us into the next person. However, there will be many a time where we are triggered, or where an experience happens and it instantly throws us back into that past experience with a previous person. Now, I'll use an example here. I was speaking to someone for a couple of weeks. We were messaging non-stop, getting to know each other. And during that time, there would be moments where my messages wouldn't deliver straight away. So they wouldn't be delivered on WhatsApp. And the old part of me, the part of me who was very anxious about her partner going out, whenever my partner went out, I was convinced he was going to cheat on me. There would be times where he wouldn't come home all night, or he'd come back at like 6 a.m. and not understand why I was upset about it. And those moments made me feel very insecure. I didn't trust him. I didn't trust myself. I didn't feel like I was enough to keep him, if you like. And so when I was messaging this new guy, there were moments from my past where I was concerned, or I would have that instant feeling of he's up to no good. Now, I didn't know this guy. We hadn't been on a date. It didn't matter what he was up to because we weren't in that position where if he was seeing someone else, it would be an issue, obviously, unless he was in a relationship with someone else, which I don't think he was, but I mean, we never know. But in those moments, whilst I've got myself to this point where I'm very solid in who I am, I'm very confident in myself, I can communicate with guys, I can go on dates without being nervous, without feeling anxious, there were moments throughout this communication that we were having for a few weeks where those past habits would come up. And in those moments, I did lose a little bit of confidence, or I felt like I maybe couldn't trust myself, or I was triggered and taken back to those past experiences. Now, if I was aiming for 100% confidence 100% of the time, in those moments where I faltered slightly or where I fell back into old patterns, I might find an excuse to beat myself up, or I might criticize myself or be overly self-judgmental because I would feel like, oh, I haven't made the progress I thought I had. But the reality is we're all human beings and we are all going to have moments where our confidence is knocked. So in those moments, instead of me beating myself up and getting frustrated that I couldn't trust this new guy, I just took a step back, accepted how I felt, and then I made the conscious decision to choose different thoughts. I decided that I didn't want to take my past into what could be a new relationship, and I made the conscious decision to choose not to believe anything negative about the messages not being delivered. I decided that the messages not being delivered were just one of those things. He was busy at work, he had no reception. And whether or not that was the truth, me worrying about the reasons why they weren't delivered was not going to do anyone any favours. So it was better for me to make that decision to choose a different thought and to meet every new person with a blank slate rather than taking that past into this, which is, I mean, we didn't really need this story in here, but I kind of wanted to give an example to you so that you can help kind of see this first principle in action. So even if 90% of the time you are confident in dating, you're confident going on your first dates, you're not feeling anxious, you're trusting in these new people, that's wonderful. But allow yourself that 10% of the time where you do feel anxious, where you are overthinking, where you do fall into that panicky energy of, are they doing something wrong? Are they going to ghost me? It's okay to go there. You just have to remember to pull yourself back out of it. Now, principle number 2, you only need 90 seconds of confidence to change your life. So this is change your life, to make a decision that could open up a new possibility to you. 90 seconds to get what you want. So the truth is, you don't even need to feel confident for 90% of the time when it comes to dating. Like, that is definitely something you can aim for. But in reality, all you really need is 90 seconds of confidence to make a decision that will propel you forwards towards that relationship you dream of. So that decision could be signing up on the dating apps. That decision could be being really vulnerable in the profile that you're writing, in your dating profile. That decision could be responding to someone's message when they ask you out on a date. That decision could be agreeing to go on the date. That decision could be turning up to the date. That decision could be messaging someone after they've taken you on a date and saying, "Thank you, I had a really great time, I'd love to see you again." If you can think, act, and feel confident in yourself for just 90 seconds, you can say yes to a new opportunity that could lead you towards the love and the relationship that you deserve, and that could change the trajectory of your life. All you need is those 90 seconds. And it doesn't matter if you say yes to a first date and then for the next 3 days before the date you're freaking out. That's absolutely fine because you had the courage and the confidence to say yes to the date in the first place. And then what you're going to do is all the work in the episodes that I've recorded previously, which are important things I tell myself before a first date, how to act and feel confident before a first date, and the mindset shifts around dating you need to make immediately, which I'll link in the show notes for you. They're the episodes that you're going to go back and listen to ensure that you are feeling your most confident self before you get into those first dates. But use that 90 seconds. If you get a message come through that says to you, I'd love to take you out, conjure up feelings of confidence. Tell yourself that you want to go on the date. Act in a way that your most confident self would behave, and then respond to that message and say, that would be lovely. Or obviously, if you don't want to go on that date, don't go on the date. That's absolutely fine as well. Now, principle number 3 is the biggest principle. And this is what we've covered the most in previous episodes. So principle number 3 of the 90-90 mindset concept is that there are 3 layers of confidence you need to master in order to become 90% confident 90% of the time, aka confident every day. So layer 1 is think confident. This is really about you changing your inner narrative and switching the stories that you have on repeat in your mind when it comes to dating. So what you think you believe and what you believe becomes your reality. So when it comes to dating, if you believe that all men are trash, the dating apps don't work, guys are just looking for sex, they only want to play games, then chances are that's the experience that you will live. These things will become a self-fulfilling prophecy because that's the energy you'll take into online dating. So let me explain with these examples. So Sarah has this mindset. The mindset that all men are trash, they're only after sex, the negative mindset around dating. She finds dating frustrating, a disappointment, a chore that she needs to do because she wants to meet someone. Every time she's scrolling or someone swipes right on her, she starts judging his profile, trying to find flaws and attaching any negative experiences she's had in the past to this unsuspecting guy she's never met. Before they even begin chatting, she has her guard up and expects things to go sour or not work out like the fantasy she has in her head. When she begins to engage in conversation, she's already in the energy of, this guy's gonna fuck me around. She communicates as if he's already been like the others. She might be clingy, anxious, impatient if he doesn't reply, or she might be blunt, sarcastic, judgmental, or critical. Neither of these scenarios are empowering for her. She's not confident in herself. She's not self-assured. She's not unapologetically herself because she's acting from a wounded place based on the stories she's telling herself. Those stories being men are trash, etc. Now, how can you truly connect with someone when you're in that headspace? The answer is you can't. You can't build a genuine, authentic connection with someone when you're coming from that place. And this is where the self-fulfilling prophecy comes into play. They will start to vibe off the energy that you put out there. If you're closed off, anxious, blunt, or standoffish, they will feel it. And then they won't make the effort to connect with you. Instead, Lisa is open to possibilities, detached from the outcome and willing to see each new match as a fresh start. She sees dating as something she wants to do. She leaves the bullshit men in the past and chooses not to make assumptions about the new man until she's got to know him. Now, Lisa, like all of us, has had shitty experiences in the past. She's been ghosted, dumped by text, had someone call things off after telling her he didn't want to date anyone else. She's been on crappy dates, and she has had her fair share of dickheads in her DMs. But instead of carrying that into the future, she embraces a whole new mindset. She embraces the think confident mindset from the 90-90 mindset concept. She says things to herself like, dating is so much fun. I love to use dating apps. It's so interesting to meet new people. Every first date I go on is going to be awesome. Each new dating experience is taking me closer to the one. I am solid in who I am, and I know that if they can't see that, they are not my person. I can handle anything that comes my way. With this open, enthusiastic, excitable energy, Lisa enjoys matching with new people and going on new dates. She doesn't pin her hopes on someone, and equally, she doesn't expect them to disappoint her. This open to possibilities, detached from the outcome mindset means that she is enjoying her dates. She's having fun. She's not self-conscious or worried about it needing to be a perfect date. And while she still had a few negative experiences with people, haven't we all? Instead of dwelling on them, she accepts it and adds it to her bank of dating disaster stories that she can tell her friends over a wine. I know it can be hard to control your thoughts, but if you are feeling more like Sarah in these scenarios, I really want to encourage you to try and shift your mindset. At the end of the day, the only person it'll affect is you. The guy on the other end won't give a shit. So make dating an enjoyable experience for yourself by changing the way that you think. Think confidently. You can also go back and listen to the episode Mindset Shifts You Need to Make Around Dating, because that will help you transform the way you think about dating in general. When you change the thoughts that you have about dating, when we come back to the Think Confident mindset, the Think Confident layer of the 1990 mindset concept, when you change your thoughts, you start to develop new beliefs. And those beliefs encourage you to act in a different way, as we've just seen with the example between Sarah and Lisa. The actions you take with these more empowering beliefs can lead you closer to the end goal. The end goal being love, marriage, a healthy relationship, whatever you want it to be. So the next time you notice yourself saying something negative about dating, try and switch your thinking and start repeating, I love dating. Dating always works out for me. I'm having so much fun. There's an endless possibility of incredible men that I could meet. Say something more empowering to yourself. And in the confidence course, I actually share 6 different strategies to help you transform your mindset and change your inner narrative for good. And whilst the confidence course is very much a general course for confidence, every strategy and technique and tip within the course can be applied to dating and relationships. So do check that out if this is something that you really want to work on. The second layer of confidence you need to work on is act confident. So this layer is all about the practical actions you can take to help you take action before you're ready and to help you feel more confident when you do throw yourself into the world of dating. Now, let me be honest with you. If you are scared about dating, if you are nervous, if you are anxious, there is never going to be a moment where you feel ready for it. Most people wait until they feel confident enough to do the scary thing. So they might say to themselves, when I feel more confident, I will put myself on the dating apps. When I love myself more, I will put myself on the dating apps. When I feel better about myself, I'll say yes to a date. But the confidence comes from taking action. You can do mindset work for hours and hours every day, but nothing will make you feel confident in yourself like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, taking a risk, or saying yes to a date before you feel ready. When you agree to put yourself out there and you sign up for your dating apps, go on a first date, go on a second date, you will create a new layer of confidence that can only come from you taking action. Now, there are practical exercises you can take to act with confidence, even if you don't feel confident. So these are kind of the fake it till you make it type exercises that can help you appear confident on the outside, even if inside you are not feeling confident in yourself at all. So 3 of my favourite instant confidence boosters are adjusting my posture. It literally takes seconds for you to roll your shoulders back, sit up straight, and lift your head up. Do it now and notice how your energy instantly shifts as you take up more space. Now, if you're having a conversation with someone and they ask you out on a date and you're feeling a bit nervous or you're doubting yourself, instantly shift your posture. Sit up taller, lift your chin up, roll your shoulders back, and notice how you expanding into the space makes you feel more confident in yourself. And then reply to the message from that energy of, I am more confident than I perhaps feel. Another thing I like to use for an instant confidence boost is what I call confidence anchors. So these are especially good if you are planning to go on a first date, if you're getting ready for a first date. There's something that we touched on in the episode, how to act and feel confident before a first date, if you want to go back and listen to that. But a confidence anchor for me is something like a bold lipstick. It's a certain perfume that I wear. It's a piece of jewellery. Anything that I can physically put on that helps me step into my most confident self. And again, this literally takes seconds to do. But as I apply that anchor, it's almost like I physically remember feelings of being at my most confident self, and it helps me to act with confidence. And then one of my favourite things is mirror work. So every time I pass a mirror, I make sure to look at myself in the eyes and smile. When I have time to spare, I spend a few more minutes looking deep into my eyes and repeating things like, I love you. I'm so proud of you. You are worthy of love. It's so easy for us to dish out the compliments to other people and strangers, in fact, but how often do you compliment yourself? You're not being full of yourself. You're not being arrogant. You're showing yourself the love that you deserve. And whilst this exercise can feel incredibly uncomfortable to start with, I really want to encourage you to start practicing it because it has been one of the best exercises that has helped me to completely transform the way I feel about myself and about my body. And because I've managed to fall in love and accept myself for who I am right now, that has really helped me to show up on dates as my authentic self, and it's helped me to connect with people in a much deeper way because I'm not sat there thinking, do my arms look big in this outfit? Or, oh God, I feel so bloated, I hope he doesn't notice. I really love my body the way it is. And yes, there are things that I'm working on, but I love and accept myself for who I am right now as well. And mirror work has really helped me to transform my body confidence. So I really want to encourage you to try it no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Then the third layer of confidence to work on based on the 1990 mindset concept is the feel confident layer. So this layer is about consciously choosing to conjure up feelings of confidence on a daily basis. Now, yes, you can do this before a first date, you can do this when you're getting ready for a first date, but also I want to encourage you to do this every single day regardless, because when you get into the habit of conjuring up these feelings, confidence is going to become your natural default state. Not 100% of the time, 90% of the time. So soon you won't even need to consciously say to yourself, oh, I need to work on my mindset, or oh, I need to do this to become more confident in myself. You will just naturally be more confident in yourself. So again, instead of waiting to feel the feelings of confidence when you've done something brave or when your inner narrative's been cheering you on, this is about you choosing to create the feelings of confidence within your body right now. It's also about you releasing any stagnant energy from your body and shifting into feeling positive, happy, and confident. Now, whilst there will be mornings where you wake up with feelings of confidence flooding through your body, for the most part, it does take practice for you to actively work to feel confident. When you learn how to conjure up these feelings of confidence, you'll be able to shift back into confidence throughout the day quickly and easily. There are many exercises that can help with this. Practices like EFT tapping, hypnosis, meditation, or breathwork are some of the things that I do regularly. But one of my favourite exercises is visualization. I simply spend 5 minutes each morning before I get out of bed visualizing confidence flooding through my body. I picture it starting at my toes and steadily making its way towards the top of my head. This means that by the time I get out of bed, I'm already feeling confident in myself and I'm ready for an amazing day. Inside the Confidence Kit, my free resource for helping you become confident every day, I've got a 5-minute morning meditation to help you bring feelings of confidence into your body. You can listen to it every morning, or you can hit play on it before you're about to go on a first date so that you know you're going to head into that day feeling your most confident self. Now, these 3 layers don't have to be worked on in any order. Typically, the Think Confident layer will be practices that you do daily for perhaps 10 or 15 minutes. So they're exercises like journaling, affirmations, mindset monologues, and empowerment lists. These are probably the most useful tools to help you create self-awareness and change your inner narrative. Act confident exercises are things that you can do multiple times a day in under 90 seconds. They are also the practices that you really want to reach for when you're standing at the train station waiting for your date to arrive. When you're making a cup of tea, take a second to adjust your posture. When you're washing your hands, smile at yourself in the mirror. These practices won't transform your life on their own or particularly quickly, but they enhance the mindset and the energetic work you do. And as I said, they are the best tools to reach for when you are in a situation where you need to grab confidence quickly. And for me, the feel confident practices are things that I do less often, but are more intense. So this is the energy work kind of stuff. And I typically do things like EFT, breathwork, yoga or hypnosis once or twice a week. What's important is that you consciously work on each of these layers. You'll notice how over time you steadily begin to feel more confident in yourself on a daily basis. And that is going to translate into your dating life as well. And not only your dating life, this is going to translate when you are in relationships too. Because the more confident you feel in yourself, the less you're going to need to seek validation from your partner. The less you're going to put yourself down in front of your partner. Now, we're all guilty of it. There are times where I put myself down too. But when you are constantly pointing out your flaws or picking at the things that you don't like about yourself, it's not attractive. I don't find it attractive when men pinpoint their flaws to me, and I know men don't find it attractive when women do the same. And it's different when you're in a relationship and perhaps your period's due and you feel like shit and you're bloated and you're struggling. By all means, share that with your partner. But you don't want to spend every single day going, I look disgusting. Your partner is with you because they fancy you, because they love you, because they love your body, because they find you attractive. When you continually say negative things about yourself, it can be really off-putting. So you want to get to a place where you love yourself and you accept yourself for exactly who you are right now, regardless of whether you've got a partner or whether you're dating, or whether you're just happy being single. Like, really embrace who you are now. Each of these three layers complements the other, and when you master all three, you'll easily become 90% confident 90% of the time. So remember, these practices take time to build unwavering confidence. It's not just a case of journaling for a week, feel more confident, and that's it, the end. Even when you are doing this work, there will still be days or moments or first dates where you lack confidence, and that's absolutely okay because you are a human being. I've been working on myself in this way for over 12 years now, and I still have moments of self-doubt, moments where I criticise my body, or days where I don't feel confident and I'm stood at that train station and I just want to run away from the date that I'm supposed to be meeting. But in those moments, I don't give up on my tools and say that they don't work. I'm compassionate with myself, I remind myself I'm human, and I choose practices that will help take me into more confidence again. We are all a work in progress, not a work in perfection. So I really hope that me sharing this concept with you in this much depth has helped you to understand how you are going to be your most confident self when it comes to dating. Everything I've shared in here can be applied to your dating life, to your recovery after a breakup life, to your future relationships or your current relationships if you are in a relationship. If you have any questions about this concept, then please do get in touch. If you would like to contribute to the Date with Confidence podcast, then you can go to datewithconfidencepodcast.com/contribute. And as I've mentioned before, I've got some resources in the show notes that can really help you. There is the confidence course, which will help you to dramatically transform your mindset, your overall sense of self, and will help you build unwavering self-confidence in all areas of your life. And particularly as this is a dating podcast, there is a section where we will help you to raise your relationship standards so that you never have to settle for shit again. You know what you deserve. You know what the kind of relationship that you are worthy of. The confidence course is going to help you have that relationship. And there is the free resource, the Confidence Kit, which you can download now to access 9 lots of 90-second confidence boosters. There is also a workbook in there with 7 types of journaling exercises you can do to create more confidence. And you'll get that free guided visualization to help you conjure up more feelings of confidence every single morning. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for listening to the Date with Confidence podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Subscribe, rate and review, and share it with your single friends.